The Little Princess and the Path She Always Remembered. Once upon a time, in a kingdom wrapped in soft clouds and silver sunlight, there lived a little princess named Luma. Unlike the grand princesses in storybooks who wore heavy crowns and sat quietly on thrones, Princess Luma had curious eyes, ink-stained fingers, and a heart full of questions. Every morning, just as the sky turned peach and gold, Luma would prepare for her journey to the most extraordinary place in the kingdom, the magic school of Whispering Winds. Now, this was no ordinary school. The magic school did not sit in one place. It shimmered and shifted, sometimes hiding behind a waterfall, sometimes perched on the back of a gentle mountain, and sometimes floating just above a forest of singing trees. Only those who truly remembered the way in their hearts could find it. And that was Luma's biggest challenge. You see, the path to the magic school changed every single day.
"Remember, Luma,"
said her mother, the queen, as she gently braided her hair with ribbons that glowed faintly in the dark.
"the road is not just something you see, it's something you feel."
Luma nodded, though she didn't fully understand.
"I'll remember,"
she said brightly. But remembering wasn't always easy. On her very first day, Luma stepped outside the castle gates and saw 3 paths stretching before her. One path was lined with giggling flowers. One path sparkled like it had been dusted with sugar. And the third path looked plain, quiet, and a little lonely. Luma tilted her head.
"Which one is it?"
She wondered aloud. A small bird landed on her shoulder.
"Where are you going?"
It chirped.
"To magic school."
Luma replied proudly. The bird fluttered its wings.
"Then don't just look with your eyes. Listen."
Luma closed her eyes. The giggling flowers were loud and silly. The sparkling path crackled with excitement. But the quiet path hummed softly, like a lullaby her mother used to sing.
"That one?"
she whispered, pointing to the plain path. And she was right. At the end of the path, the magic school appeared. Its towers twisting like ribbons, its windows glowing with warm light, and its doors opening with a gentle sigh, as if they had been waiting just for her. Inside, Luma met her teacher, Madame Willow, a kind woman with hair that flowed like vines and eyes that sparkled like morning dew.
"Welcome, Princess Luma. Here, we learn not just magic, but how to understand the world and ourselves,"
Madame Willow said. Luma beamed. She was ready. Each day at the magic school brought new wonders. She learned how to talk to clouds, how to plant seeds that grew into stories, and how to fold sunlight into tiny glowing butterflies. But every afternoon, when it was time to go home, Madame Willow would remind her,
"Remember the path, Luma. Tomorrow it will change, but your heart will guide you."
The next morning, Luma stepped outside again. This time, there were 4 paths. One was covered in bouncing mushrooms. One smelled like sweet honey. One was windy and full of swirling leaves. And one had tiny glowing footprints. Luma frowned.
"This is harder than yesterday."
She said. She almost chose the honey path, it smelled so delicious. But then she remembered the soft humming from the day before. She closed her eyes again. The mushroom path felt jumpy. The honey path felt sticky. The windy path felt restless. But the glowing footprints felt steady, like someone gently holding her hand.
This one.
She said. And once again, she was right. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Each morning, the paths became trickier. Sometimes they disappeared and reappeared. Sometimes they looped around in circles. Sometimes they tried to distract her with beautiful sights and sounds. One day, the paths were especially confusing. There were 7 of them. 7! Luma spun around, her head dizzy.
I can't do this. I'll never remember the way.
She said, her voice small. Just then, the same little bird from her first day returned.
You've forgotten something.
It said gently.
I've forgotten everything.
Luma replied. The bird shook its head.
No, you've forgotten to trust yourself.
Luma blinked.
Close your eyes.
The bird said. So, she did.
Think about the school. Not what it looks like, but how it feels.
It continued, Luma thought. She remembered laughter. She remembered warmth. She remembered the feeling of learning something new, like a tiny spark lighting up inside her chest. Her shoulders relaxed, her breathing slowed, and then she felt it. A gentle pull, like a thread connecting her heart to somewhere far away. She opened her eyes and pointed.
That way.
The bird smiled. And of course, she was right. At school that day, Madam Willow gave Luma a special lesson.
Today, we are learning about memory magic,
She said. Luma's eyes widened.
Memory magic?
She repeated. Madam Willow nodded.
Memory is not just about remembering what you see. It's about noticing, feeling, and understanding.
She waved her hand, and the classroom filled with floating images, paths, colors, sounds, smells.
Every path you walk leaves a little mark inside you. Even if the path changes, the feeling remains.
Madam Willow explained. Luma listened carefully.
So, if I remember how the path feels, I can always find my way.
Yes, because the most important map is the one inside you.
Madam Willow said with a smile. From that day on, Luma practiced. Every morning, she paid attention. Not just to what she saw, but to what she felt. The crunch of gravel under her shoes. The whisper of the wind. The way her heart fluttered when she was excited, or nervous, or calm. And slowly, something magical happened. She stopped feeling lost. One evening, a thick fog covered the kingdom. The castle towers disappeared into the mist. The trees became shadows, and the paths vanished completely. Luma stood at the gate, clutching her school bag.
I can't see anything.
She said. Her mother knelt beside her.
What do you do when you cannot see the path?
The queen asked softly. Luma thought for a moment. Then she closed her eyes. She took a deep breath, and she listened. Not with her ears, but with her heart. There it was again. That gentle pull, that quiet humming.
That way?
She said confidently, pointing into the fog. Her mother smiled.
Go on, my brave little princess.
Step by step, Luma walked forward. Even when she couldn't see her own feet, even when the fog felt thick and heavy, she trusted the feeling inside her. And just like always, the magic school appeared. That day, Madame Willow clapped her hands with delight.
You've learned it,
She said. Luma grinned.
I didn't remember the path. I remembered how to find it.
She said. Madame Willow nodded.
and that is the greatest magic of all.
From then on, Luma was never afraid of getting lost again, because she knew something very important. Paths may change. The world may shift. Things may become confusing. But as long as she listened to her heart, she would always find her way. And every night, before she went to sleep, Princess Luma would whisper to herself,
I remember the way.
not just to school, but to courage, to kindness, to learning, to herself. And in the quiet glow of her room, with the stars twinkling just outside her window, the little princess would drift into dreams, ready for another magical journey in the morning. The end.